Hello everyone, and welcome to Fictional Vortex. What Ifs? So we are back with an interesting movie on what if Naruto had the legacy of the Sage of Dinosaurs. But before we start, I just want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you enjoy my content. Let's start the story. Chapter 1. Beginning story. 225 to 65 million years ago. They were giants animals walking around the earth. The mighty ones of the history. The dinosaurs. These magnificent creatures roamed the earth longer before humans evolved. One side eat plants called herbivores, while others with they killing teeth, hunt other dinosaurs called carnivores. And somewhere between them are two kinds, insectivore and omnivore. And they not the only creatures. The pterosaurs ruled the sky and marine reptiles take over the sea. But in 65 million ago, a meteor crashed on the earth, wipe out all dinosaurs. The dinosaurs and their cousins are gone and will never return. Or will they? Traveling to the New World. Naruto Uzumaki. The Sage of Dinosaurs Chapter 2, Traveling to the New World. A 12-year-old boy named Naruto Uzumaki was talking to the receptionist. But why can't I see Sasuke? Naruto asked. I told you already, only humans can visiting, not demons. Receptionist said with a venom tone. But, Naruto, this is a hospital. Keep it down, a voice said behind him. Naruto turned and saw his sensei, Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi-sensei, I've been looking for you, Naruto said as he made his way. Kakashi held out his palm. I know what you're going to say. I found a good teacher for the third Chunin exams. Kakashi said. What? Why can you train me? Naruto asked. Because Sasuke is facing against a tough opponent and he needs all the help he can get. That was the masked ninja's one answer. But what about me? Naruto asked in angry tone. Kakashi frowned even wider underneath his mask. What about you? I'm facing that Bakane. I in the first rounds, damn it, and I don't even know how to fight him. Naruto said. Kakashi sighed. Look, Naruto, I can't train you because I don't have any time to do so. Sasuke has a better chance of winning against Gaara than you with Neji. You can't control chakra. Your jutsu is limited to Academy Jutsu and AB rank ninjutsu, your taijutsu sucks ass and your genjutsu is non-existent. Sasuke has a variety of Kaden jutsu. The Sharingan, his clan taijutsu and a few genjutsu, all which I can help him with. You on the other hand, are not ready to take the next step as a shinobi and perhaps get beat by Neji will wake you up to reality. Kakashi said. But, Kakashi cut off Naruto. I'm sorry Naruto, but you have no talent nor do you deserve to be a ninja. Kakashi said before he went off. Naruto stared at his sensei before he run away. Nearly a mouth. After running, Naruto meet up with Jiraiya, the Toad Sage, and after a long chase, Jiraiya is training about the summoning jutsu. Sadly, Naruto can only summon Tadpole. Just about 3 days before the finals, Jiraiya in order to Naruto to use the nine-tailed chakra, push Naruto off the edge. Naruto tries to summoning, however no matter how much he tried as he fell he couldn't do it and as he continued to fall, Naruto think back on his two most precious people, Hinata Hyuga and Anko Mitarashi. Flashback. Anko. 4 years old Naruto was walking along the streets of the Hidden Leaf Village. There's the demon. Get it? A man's voice said. Naruto turned and saw a mob heading to him. Not like the look of this, Naruto turned and run. He turned to the ally only to reach a dead end. Slowly in fear, Naruto turned to see mob coming in close till they starting to beat him up. This is for our fourth Hokage. Man one said. Leave him alone. A purple hair woman said as she jumped from the roof she was on and landed between Naruto and the mob. It's Anko. Woman said. The snake whore. Man 2 asked. Let's get out of here before she take to her master. Man 1 said. With that, they made a run for it. Anko turned to see unconscious boy with his wounds slowly but faster healing. Anko pick up the kid and bring him to her home for the while. A few moments later, Naruto woke up as see the room he's not familiar with. Anko enter the room. At first, Naruto was afraid but after a while, Naruto and Anko become good friends. But some say they might be more than friends. Flashback. Hinata. Few months after meeting Anko, Naruto was in the forest, training till he heard something nearby. Naruto follow the sound till he see a man in black uniform. With a moving sack which mutter scream. Shut up, a man said, punching the sack. The man put the sack before he open it, showing a blue-hair girl. Naruto believe this man has kidnapped her. Pick up an old rusty kuni. Knife out of his pocket. Naruto slowly sneak to the man before he jump on him and stab him on the back. The man scream before turn around. Why you little, man said before he punch. Naruto to the ground before starting to beat him. A while later, the man turned to pick up the girl but Naruto manages to get up, jump and stab him again, this time, on the head ouch. With the man dead, after he feel bad and nearly throw up, Naruto turn and untie the girl. Thank you for saving me, a girl asked. No problem, my name is Nato Uzumaki. Naruto said, nice to meet you. My name is Hinata Hyuga. Hinata said, cool to meet you. Naruto said. Suddenly, the man got back up. You little brat, you think you got me? That knife of yours is so useless in battles. This is the real kuni knife. The man said, pull out the new kuni knife. However, before he could attack, a man with long hair and white robe appear in front of him and strike him on his heart, killing the black man. The long-hair man turn and glare at the kids are most likely Hinata. Hinata, how can you become the future head of the clan if you get kidnapped so easily? You're a true failure. Come along, now, the man said. Why yes father. Goodbye, Naruto. I hope we see each other soon. Hinata said before she and her father went off. End of flashback. In fact, Naruto and Hinata did meet up. Inside the academy in Sesets. They become friends but like with Anko, Naruto feeling something more than friends about Hinata. Anyway, knowing that on his dead, his close friends and precious people will be sad. But will also make Hinata and Anko cry over his dead body, a fire lights in his eyes. No matter what, I won't die and make them cry. Naruto yells as he goes through the summoning hand seals Agai. To summon before yelling out, summoning Justu. And pouring as much of his chakra as possible into it, however ended up making a mistake when doing the hand seals and instead of summoning the boss toad he simply vanishes. Meanwhile, Dr. John Hammond was walking near still building VZT Center, when his look up and saw a boy appear out of nowhere and fall to the roof and crash through. Even his old body, Dr. Hammond rush in. Found the boy in the small crater with minor cuts and bruises and immediately calls for medics as they rush to treat the boy. Few hours later, Dr. Hammond sit near the bed the boy we know it's Naruto is laying. Just then, Drive, Henry Wu an old friend of John Hammond, walks in. How is he? John asked. Well, John when he came in here he had a few fractures and broken bones. Along with some minor cuts and bruises. However in the few hours he has been asleep all of his bones have already healed along with his cuts and bruises, he says shocking Hammond, something like this shouldn't be possible. It's like he has some sort of super accelerated healing factor. He finishes rubbing the bridge of his nose while thinking, it's reasons like this that I chose the field of genetics instead of regular medicine. Hammond sighs in relief hearing that the boy will be okay. How was that? I hope you like it Kurono Dono 12. See you all really soon. Meeting the Nine-Tailed Fox A. Naruto Uzumaki. The Sage of Dinosaurs. Chapter 3. Meeting the Nine-Tailed Fox and Dr. Hammond. Naruto opened his eyes to find himself in a sewer in ankle-deep water. Where am I? Naruto asked. Naruto is walking toward what he thinks is the exit. After walking for a little while Naruto comes to a large gate with a tag that says seal holding it shut. What is this? Naruto asked. Well, you've come after all, a voice said behind bars. Suddenly, a giant red eyes appear from the shadows. Naruto moved back a bit. Who are you? Naruto asked. I'm the one who's called the Nine-Tailed Fox. A voice said before its head moved close, showing a reddish-orange fox with rabbit-like ears. Why you're the Nine-Tailed Fox? Naruto asked in fear. That's right, and I had one thing to say, Nine-Tailed said. I'm sorry, Nine-Tailed said in sadness. What? Naruto asked in surprise and shock. It's because of me that you have a miserable life. Nine-Tailed said. Okay, why are you apologizing? You attacked the Leaf Village, Fox. Naruto said. First of all, my name is Vixen. Second, I was controlled by an evil man named Madara Uchiha. I never want to attack the Hidden Leaf Village. My two little friends, Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, and Kushina Uzumaki aka, your parents. Vixen said. My what? Naruto asked. That's right, your father sealed me inside you not only to save the village but to save you as well. They have faith in you. Vixen said. Cool, I'll make them proud, Naruto said. Vixen smile. Just to let you know, you not in our world anymore. You've mess up the hand signs an instant of summon that toad. You brought yourself to the other world where a old man is watching over you. Vixen said. Oh, I see. Is there any way we can get back home? Naruto asked. I don't know, Naruto. We might be here for a while if not stuck here, but I have an idea on how to get you home, and that is to reverse summon you, since we already know that it was summoning that got us here. Vixen said. Naruto's eyes widened with hope. The problem is that since you have never summoned the boss of the toads, they don't recognize you as one of their summoners yet. Vixen finished. Naruto's hope shatters. That's just perfect, Naruto said. Suddenly, an idea comes to Naruto's mind. Hold on, what if we were to make a new summoning contract, and then reverse summon back to the summon realm? Because aren't all summon contracts automatically linked there when they are made? Naruto asked. Vixen's eyes to widen. Then she's thinking. That could work, Vixen said. Cool, not to work out why my chakra control is out of whack. Naruto said. I might have a guess. Take your shirt off, Vixen said. Say what? Naruto asked. You heard me. Take off your jacket and shirt and build up some chakra. Vixen said. Naruto did as his fox friend said, and the Shikifuin appear along with 5 extra seals on it. I thought so. 5-pronged seal. It's not only blocks a lot of your chakra but also disrupts it. That is why your chakra feels that way and why you couldn't summon any of the toads bigger than a tadpole, not to mention that perverted idiot Jiraiya didn't even think to check if you had a seal on you. Vixen said. Naruto's eyes widen. That useless sage, he fucking throw me in the fucking cliff without checking the seal. Naruto said out loud. Kit, calm down, I can remove the seal. Naruto, but it will take time due to me having to basically overload it piece by piece so that there isn't any damage to your chakra coils, not to mention it will take time for me to create the summon contract, and we need to find an animal to tie it to, Vixen said, getting a nod from Naruto. Cool, I'll find some animals, somehow. For now, how about I change the scenery since I doubt it's very comfortable in a sewer? Naruto said before the mindscape starts to shake before the sewer disappears. The sewer changes into a large meadow with a lake and waterfall. Off in the distance is a large 2-story Japanese-style mansion. The bars of the cage and the seal disappear, and a ring with the word seal engraved on it appears on Vixen's finger. Do you like it? Naruto asked to the shocked fox woman. Oh, thank you so very much, Vixen said for the while before release him. After getting some air, Naruto turned and smiled. You're welcome, sis, Naruto said. Vixen turned to Naruto in shock. I'm your sister now, Vixen asked. If you don't mind, Naruto said. Now, you better get going and see where we are while I work on the seal and summoning contract, Vixen said. Naruto nodded before he disappeared. Outside Naruto's mind, Naruto opened his eyes slowly, sit up and look around till he saw an old man sit next to his bed. Well, glad to see you're awake. My name is John Hammond. What's yours? Hammond asked. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Naruto said. Nice to meet you, Hammond said. Can I ask you something? Where am I? Naruto asked. Why, you are on the slowly building theme park. I welcome you to Jurassic Park, Hammond said. Jacko, what park? Naruto asked. Jurassic Park. It's a theme park full of dinosaurs, Hammond said. Cool, Naruto said before he had a confused face. What are dinosaurs? What are dinosaurs? It like you from the other world, Hammond joked. You could say that, Naruto muttered. Pardon, Hammond asked. You see, I'm from the other world, Naruto said, surprising Hammond. The other world? Hammond asked. That's right. I come from a world of shinobi, or as they are more commonly known, ninja, Naruto said, shocking Hammond. Naruto began telling Hammond the history of his world. About chakra. With chakra, I can do almost anything, like this. Shadow clone. Just do. Naruto said before 5 Narutos appear, surprising Hammond even more. Well, your parents must be proud of you. Hammond said. Naruto lowered his head with sadness. What's wrong? Hammond asked. Naruto tells him about his life. Hammond is speechless and while saddened by some of the things that Naruto told him like his life when he was younger, smiles in a grandfatherly way. Naruto, for someone so young you have already done so much and overcome so much. Thanks Mr. Hammond. Now then, I'll ask again, what are dinosaurs? Naruto asked. Dinosaurs are one of several kinds of prehistoric reptiles. I dream to have the park of dinosaurs by cloning them with their DNA. Hammond said. Well, why not just capture them? Naruto asked. Wish I could, but the dinosaurs are extinct. Hammond said. Okay, they may be a bit smelly but that's no excuse to not getting them, instead cloning them. Naruto said. Not getting what extinct means. Hammond laughs. No, extinct means gone, never to come back. Hammond said. Oh, then how can you clone them? Naruto asked. John hold his cane near Naruto, showing him a amber with the mosquito in it. This mosquito has live in dinosaurs' time and they drink the dinosaurs' blood. Some of them after dinking, lands on the tree and got stuck in the sap, then million years later. The sap become amber like this. We take the dinosaur DNA and be working on it while the building on the island building up. Hammond then telling Naruto what Jurassic Park is. And as Hammond explains more and more of it, Naruto's eyes widen further and further, and after Hammond shows Naruto some pictures of the dinosaurs, Naruto's eyes have stars in them. That's so very, very awesome. Old Hammond, I want to help your dream come true while I try and find a way home. Besides, I have always loved animals, Naruto said with a smile. Hammond looks at Naruto for a minute before smiling. Well, thank you very much and welcome aboard the Jurassic Park. Hammond said before getting up. Get some rest. Tomorrow, I'll show you around the park and we will find something for you to do in it. Naruto nodded as Hammond left the room. Naruto stared at the ceiling. I'm in a whole new world. Wait till I tell old man and others about this. Naruto last thought before he fall asleep. And I suppose we should end this. But I like to see one of the baby dinosaurs. Naruto is going to rise. Just to let you know, after talking with mastermind of this challenge, Kurono Dono 12, I'm allowed to add one more dinosaur in it. This one will be the oldest one out of 4 Dino kids as I call them. What is it? You about to find out. So let's carry on for now, shall we? Next morning, Naruto woke up. Went down to see Hammond with some breakfast. Morning, old Hammond, Naruto said before starting to eat. Morning, Naruto. After breakfast, we'll begin the tour. Hammond said with a smile. Right after breakfast, Dr. Hammond showed Naruto around the main building, the control room, dining room, kitchen, and they heading to the place where something amazing happened. They enter the incubation hatching room. Morning, Henry, Hammond said to his old friend. Henry turned to his boss. Good morning, sir, Henry said. This boy is a new member when and if we can find him a place. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto, this is Henry Wu, our new and best chief genetic engineer of Ingen. Hammond said. Nice to meet you, Naruto said, holding his hand. Henry shake the hands. Likewise. Any dinosaurs hatch yet? Hammond asked. Not yet, sir, Henry said. Mind if I look around? Naruto asked. Sure. Go right ahead. Henry said. Thanks, Naruto said. With that, Naruto walks around the room till he near a big egg when he heard a cracking sound. Naruto turned to the big egg as it hatching. Old Hammond, Henry, one of the eggs is hatching. Naruto call out. Hammond and Henry heard it, rush over. Naruto turned back to an egg and smile as a crocodile-like head pop out, looking at Naruto like he is its parent before letting out a cute roar and nuzzling its head into Naruto's palm. Hammond and Dr. Wu arrived to see the baby dinosaur nuzzling into Naruto's palm, causing them to chuckle. Well, look like you found your job, Hammond said. Naruto turned to Hammond and tilts his head to the side in confuse. Baby Dino see that and imitate. What do you mean? Naruto asked as he scratched his head, which the baby Dino imitate again. That baby Spinosaurus has have imprinted on you, meaning she think that you are her parent. Do for this, you'll become the dinosaur handler and your job is to taking care of the dinosaurs. Hammond said. Naruto smiled at it. I accept it, sir. Naruto said before turned to the Spinosaurus. Hey, little one, I'm your new father. Spinosaurus let out a cute roar before she nuzzled on Naruto's palm again. Are you giving that baby a name? Henry asked. Well, let's see. If I remember what you told me, old Hammond, Spinosaurus is the largest two-legged carnivore of all dinosaurs times, Tank. That's you name. Do you like it? Naruto asked. Spinosaurus squeals for her answer. Hammond smiles at his. Now then, Tank will spend a few days here under observation to make sure she is healthy, but you will be able to visit her every day, and after that you will be able to look after her. Hammond said. Naruto nodded with a smile before he turned to Tank. Okay, Tank, I will visiting you every day, so be good for me, okay? Naruto asked. Spinosaurus nodded. Yes, father, a tiny voice said in Naruto's head, surprising him. You can talk with me through a mental link? Naruto asked, causing Hammond and Dr. Wu's eyes to widen hearing this before they looked to say. The little baby nod her head as if she understood Naruto and were answering his question. What are you talking about? Hammond asked. Well, old Hammond, it looks like I somehow have a mental link with Tank. I can hear and talk to her mentally, Naruto said, shocking them before he hears a familiar voice in his head that he recognizes as Vixen, who's seeing what's happens. Little brother, Hink, the mental link between you and that cute little baby is a side effect of the mental link I established with you. Vixen said. As that mother? Tank asked. What? Vixen asked as she blushed. I'll explain to you, later. Naruto said to Tank. With your job taken care of, I think we should carry on with the tour. Hammond said. Naruto nodded before turned to Tank. Okay, Tank, you'll be good now, I'll be back soon, Naruto said. Tank nodded as she fall asleep while her father and Hammond left the incubation hatching room. End of this chapter. I hope you like. Right, Naruto will rise a Spinosaurs. 2 T-Rex and Velociraptor. Pretty cool. Anyway, see you dinosaur lover very soon. Note, this is not a chapter, sorry. Just to let you know, while I working on the chapter, I plan to add some more dinosaurs along with more pterosaurs and marine reptiles. That'll mean that the Velociraptor will be their actual real life size when I add more different raptors. The dinosaurs from the film will be in it, so no worries. Anyway, here the dino lists. Carnotaurus, Allosaurus, Saltosaurus, Iguanodon, Maiasaura, Displetosaurus, Tarbosaurus, Maposaurus, Trudon, Giganotosaurus, Edmontonia, Torosaurus, Styracosaurus, Euplocephalus, Saurophaganax, Kentrosaurus, Saurolophus. Bambiraptor, that's right. You heard, or should it be, read, Dracorex. Dryosaurus, Oviraptor, Microraptor, Pyroraptor, Deinonych. Husioraptor, Herrerasaurus, Therizinosaurus, Majungasaurus, Tylosaurus, Elasmosaurus. Ophthalmosaurus, Lioplorodon, Diplodocus, Anorognathus, Liaelinosaura, Rhonavis, Ornithochirus, Quetzalcoatlus, Rhamphorhynchus, Futabosaurus. And Rugops. Don't worry about the Isla Sorna, someone who cloned more dinosaurs behind poor Hammond's back and Inserset had somehow explanting the island. Please, don't ask me how, it's a surrect. Anyway, if any of you have some dino idea to add, review me. But here's small rules. Rule 1. No prehistoric mammals, fish or birds. Only dinosaurs and their pterosaurs and marine reptiles cousins. Rule 2. After talk with the master of this challenge, no hybrid dinosaurs or any of their cousins. So Anoindominus Rex, sorry. Rule 3. No make bilding things like prehistoric dragon or stuffs. And as for the Dilophosaurus, we know it may not have any neck fill, but I'll keep that spilting trick as a special abilities or it way to hunt, as I thought it's so cool. Anyway, hope to finish the chapter soon. Till then, note 2. Okay, just want to say thank you for these dino ideas. I add some as well, seeing a lot of people choosing meat eaters, and I add 2 more meat eaters as well, as I forgot to add them to the last time list. Anyway, here they are. Argentinosaurus by Cryo Threshold. Thank you. Syntosaurus by me. Platyosaurus by me. Minmi by me. Pachyrhinosaurus by me. Uteranus by AJJR12. Thank you. Raptorex by AJJR12. Thank you. Megaraptor by Destroya 199. Thank you. Coelophysis by me. The Forgotten One, Cryolophosaurus by me. The Forgotten One. Thank you all for your choosing. I believe those will do nicely. For those who were asking about some dinosaurs like Ankylosaurus. When I said dinosaurs in the film, I mean films. Like all 4 films. With you guys now knowing what's going to happen in the story. You won't be confused or surprised. I hope you will like other chapters when I done them each. See you Dino Ninja lovers very soon. Chapter 4. During 5 years. Naru, to Uzumaki. The Sage of Dinosaurs Chapter 4. During 5 years. Tank the Spinosaurus, now 6 months old and half the man size, was running in the room and hide behind desk, only with her tail and fin back showing. Just then, Naruto enter the room, look around till he see a tail and fin back. Well, look like Tank is not here. Guess I look somewhere else. Naruto said. Naruto left the room. Tank pop her head out to see when suddenly. Naruto grabbed Tank from behind. Got you, Naruto said. No fair. You cheat. You use clone trick again. Tank said with her mind. Well, I am a ninja. Come on now, off to bed. Naruto said. Tank nodded before she and her father head to Naruto's room. Tank went to a nest made of leaves and went to sleep. Naruto lay on his bed and fall asleep too. Naruto opened his eyes, seeing his in his mind. He head to Vixen. How it going? Naruto asked. Not even close. It might take next 9 years to complete. Also, we'll need some animals to become summing animals. Vixen said. While you here, son. We should carry on with your training. Minato said. Wait, Minato and Kushina here. Why? You asked. Because right after Vixen remove 5-pronged seal, their soul appear and together. They have great catching up. Right after Minato gets beat up by Naruto, Vixen and Kushina. Anyway, every night, Naruto's parents teach him everything they know, like Minato's Hiraishi. In an Rasengan and Kushina's Charka chain and took a really long months, Fuinjutsu of the clan right after Kushina giving Naruto a clan history lesson. After few training, the family sit down and talking. How is little Tank? Kushina asked. Getting bigger. Naruto said. Morning time. Father, wake up. Tank said. Mind it is. She. Nuzzle Naruto. Okay, I'm up. Naruto said and tried. After having breakfast, Naruto and Tank enter the hatching room. Morning, Hernie. Naruto said. Good morning Naruto. Hernie said. Naruto then moved to the eggs, checking on them when he 2 big eggs moving, the sign of hatching. Drive Hernie. 2 eggs are hatching. Naruto called out. Soon, the heads pop out, stare at Naruto before they nuzzle his palms. Wow, 2 baby Tyrannosaurus Rex. You must have some luck. Hernie said. Just then, Hammond entered the room. What's going on? Hammond asked. Well sir, Naruto has 2 baby T-Rex. Hernie said. Really? Let me have a look. Hammond said, looking at 2 new dinosaurs. Who's had downy feathers? That's right, grayish-white feathers covering them except legs, arms and faces. Well, that was surprising. Hammond said. They're cute, aren't they? Naruto said. Yes, they are. What are their name? Hammond asked. Well, the brown face one is Matilda and the green face one is Terra. Naruto said. Very nice names. Hammond said. After health check and all clear, Naruto went to Tank, who was at the far end of the room, eating fish, with his 2 new daughters. Tank, this is you new sisters, Terra and Matilda. Terra, Matilda, this is your big sister, Tank. Naruto said. Tank made her way over and sniff at the baby T-Rexes. The babies sniff back. You know dinosaurs can talk to each other with their language like from plant eater to plant eater, meat eater to meat eater. Meat eater to plant eater and plant eater to meat eater, almost. Well, we're changing the sounds to understanding what they are saying. Cool. Ah, hi. Tank roared. Hello, big sister. T-Rex babies roared. 3 months later, Naruto and his Dino kids wandering around the island when suddenly, they heard a deep roar. After telling his kids to stay near the tree, Naruto rushed to the sounds. When he got there, he sees a rampaging teen Triceratops. Naruto ran to the game warden, Robert Muldoon. Muldoon, what's going on? Naruto asked. I don't know. We were just taking her to her paddock when suddenly, She went out of control. Robert said. Robert pointed his shotgun at the dinosaur when Naruto got in the way. Wait a minute, let me handle this, Naruto said. With that, Naruto, to slowly head to the rampaging dinosaur while everyone telling him to stop. Easy, girl, Naruto said calmly. Triceratops slowly looking at Naruto. You talking to me? Triceratops said, minded. Well, kinda. Just tell me, what's wrong? Naruto said. Is he talking to a dinosaur, sir? A keeper asked near Robert. I don't know how, but it looked like he is. Keep you weapons on her. Robert said. After hearing the dinosaur's voice in his mind, Naruto lift Triceratops' right leg and see a big thorn on her foot or something. Naruto slowly and carefully remove the thorn. There you go, all better, Naruto said. Triceratops suddenly let out a big roar. Open fur. Robert suddenly stopped as Triceratops licking and nuzzling Naruto's whiskers-marked face. Unless the Triceratops lick his enemy to death, you can chill, sir. A keeper said. Okay, she's all right now. You can take her to the Triceratops paddock. Naruto said. With that, some keepers starting to lead her away. How did you know about that thorn? Robert asked, not believing of what just happened. She told me in my mind. Now if you excuse me, my kids are waiting, Naruto said before he left, leaving confused game warden behind. 1.5 hours later, Naruto with his kids waiting outside, is in Hammond's office with Hammond himself. Well, Naruto, Robert told me about you being brave against rampaging Triceratops. Hammond said. Technically, she was a bit cranky because the thorn on her foot hurts really badly. Naruto said. Right. Anyway, because of what you did and your bravely, I'm now promote you to the lead dino handler. Hammond said. Okay, that's wait, what did you say? Naruto asked. I said, I promote you to the lead dino handler. Hammond said with a smile. Really? Thank you Grandpa Hammond. I won't disappoint you, Naruto said. I'm sure you won't. Now as a reward for your bravely, I allow you to rise one more dinosaur, a dinosaur I believe you can handle it her. Hammond said before he pushed the button of his intercom. You can bring it in now. Right away, sir, Hernie's voice said from the intercom. A few minutes later, Hernie walked through the door but not before Naruto's dino kids as they rushed toward their father. Here you are, Naruto, Henry said, handing Naruto a very small egg. Naruto carefully took an egg. What dinosaur is in this egg? Velociraptor, Henry said. Naruto's eyes widened. One of the smartest dinosaur of all? Naruto asked. Henry nodded. Naruto looked at an egg. Shikamaru will have a dino rivalry with this one when she hatch. Naruto thought. 3 months later, the raptor egg inside the incubator is moving. Naruto head over and see a very small head pop out. The raptor look around till she see Naruto, then nuzzle his palm. Hi there, Sabine, Naruto said. Hello father, Sabine said minded. After picking up the baby velociraptor, Naruto with the other dino kids following him, take Sabine to have her health checked. After that, Naruto head to nursery where John Hammond is with other dino handlers. Hey, Grandpa Hammond, Naruto said. Hello, Naruto, how's the egg? Hammond asked. See for yourself, Naruto said, leading a white downy feather. Another one, Hammond asked in surprise. Again, Sabine's feathers might be temporary like Terra and Matilda. Naruto said, pointing at his T-Rex kids who's 3 months old and already lose the downy feathers. Maybe, Hammond said with a smile. Anyway, I was just about to look for you. Really? Naruto asked. Yes, seeing you are very good with the dinosaurs, especially with your mind-talking ability, I'm sending you to Site B. Hammond said. Site B, what's that? Naruto asked. Isla Nublar which we are on, is just a showroom for the tourists. Site B is the factory floor. Isla Sorna, 80 miles from here. We've breed the dinosaurs there. Nurture them for a few months then move them into the park. In fact, the Triceratops you calmed it was from Site B. Hammond said. Really? And you want me to lead the dino handlers, right? Naruto asked. That's right. The ship will bring you and your dinos to Site B. Hammond said. 2 years later. Alright, Miss Raptor. You have been asking this for 65 million years. Now, you're going to get it. A man named Roland said while Playing drafts with Sabine, the 2 years old velociraptor, with her father and sisters watching, and Roland's partner. He jump his one of the black pieces over Sabine's red piece and take it. Ha, Roland said with smile. Sabine just stare at Roland before she pick up her piece and jump Roland's pieces one by one till there's nothing left. Smart raptor, Roland said as everyone nearby laugh. You better off hunting than drafts. Roland's partner said. Very funny, Roland said. Hurricane Day. Naruto did not know what was happen. One moment after the big one, the velociraptor killed the worker at Isla Nublar, Hammond went to see Dr. Alan Grant to see if he can get support for the Jurassic Park. Then moment later after that, a terrible hurricane show up while Naruto and the workers on Site B can contact the park. Then suddenly, Hammond call evacuate. Naruto turned to his kids. Who's got bigger? I have to leave you for. Do you understand? Naruto asked. Dino kids nodded, but Naruto can see their sad faces. Will you be back? Sabine asked minded. Naruto paused before nodded. Gee, totally. I'll be back. I promise. Till then, Terra and Matilda, look out for each other. Tank, be sure to be a best bigger predator of all. Naruto said, and I'll make you proud by becoming the leader of my very own pack. Sabine said minded. Okay then, I'll be back soon. Naruto said before he got on the ship before the ship sails through. Tank, T-Rex and Sabine wave goodbye to their father as he waved back. Naruto tears the island as the ship gets further and further away. Naruto is sad about his kids because like all the dinosaurs, his Dino kids has bred with lysine deficient. Meaning in 7 days without supplemental enzymes, the dinosaurs will collapse into a coma and eventually die. Roland and Ajay head to their friend and Roland place his hand on Naruto's shoulder. I'm sorry about this. I know how much you care for them. Roland said. It's not your fault. Naruto just said. Meanwhile, in the deepest, darkest room, there are lots and lots of eggs, which some of them are hatching to the dinosaurs' tea. Hat's not part of the Jurassic Park list. And done. I hope you like it. Sorry I took so long, I was on a good holiday. Anyway, Naruto left the Isla Sorna with a fake promise to return. Are the Dinosaurs along with Naruto's Dino kids die, or would something keep them alive? Stay tuned and find out. Till then, see you dinosaur lovers very soon. Chapter 5. Returning to Isla Sorna. Naruto Uzumaki. He Sage of Dinosaurs. Chapter 5. Returning to Isla Sorna. 4 years later, at the Isla Sorna, there's yacht nearby, and on the beach, wealthy Bowman family and the yacht crew are having lunch. The little girl and Wonder off near the trees, humming, hum, hum. The girl hummed, hum, hum. A voice said. The little girl stopped and turned to see a bird-like creature on the tree branch. Dino data Rahonavis. Name meaning. Cloud bird diet. Carnivore or insectivore. 2 to 3 feet long and weight 1 to 2 pounds. Rahonavis is a dinosaur or a bird that glide from tree to tree. Rahonavis might also imitate other creatures and copy the noises that they made to scare of predators and protect itself. Dino data end. Hello there. The little girl said. Hello there. Rahonavis said. Are you some kind of parrot? The little girl asked. Are you some kind of parrot? Rahonavis said. Roar, roar. Rahonavis said before jump off the branch and run off. Something wet on her shoulder. The little girl looked at it. It's a saliva. Slowly, she turned around and what she saw has scared her. Meanwhile, the lunch is ready and a woman was about to call her daughter when she and everyone heard a scream. Her daughter then run back to the others. Chasing her from the trees, is a theropod creature with bull-like horns on its head. Dino data Carnotaurus. Name meaning. Flesh-eating bull diet. Carnivore. 6.6 feet tall, 26 feet long and weight 1 ton. Carnotaurus was a large, bipedal, meat-eating dinosaur that looked a bit like a bull. It had 2 knobby eyebrow horns, a small skull, extremely tiny arms, even smaller than those of T-Rex, and a long, thin tail. Dino data end. The father grabbed his little girl and with his wife and the crew, run back to the boats, but one of the crew was too slow and the Carnotaurus grab him and shaking a bit till half of the man's body torn off and that half land on the boat where the family are. The woman and the girl scream. Few weeks later, Naruto Uzumaki, a 22 years old man just arrived at the mansion on his motorbike. Wonder why Grandpa Hammond call me? Naruto said to himself as he ring the doorbell. John's butler arrive and open the door. Good day, Mr. Uzumaki. Master have been expecting you. Butler said as he took Naruto's bike helmet and jacket. Thank you, Luke, Naruto said. When he arrived a hallway, Naruto saw a man in black outfit hugging two kids which Naruto know them as John Hammond's grandkids. After the man went up the stairs, one of them, Tim, saw Naruto. Big bro, Tim said as he head to him. What's up, kid? Naruto said as he high-fived Tim. I have been good, Naruto. Most of my time has been spent on school and studying more about dinosaurs, Tim said. Naruto smiles hearing this, even after everything Lex and Timmy went through in Jurassic Park MMY didn't let it destroy his love of dinosaurs and still wants to be a paleontologist. That's good to hear. I'm sure you will be a great paleontologist when you get older and likely surpass Drive. Gran. He says knowing how much Timmy looks up to Dr. Alan Grant. Lex runs up to Naruto and gives him a hug which he returns. Naruto, how are you? It's been so long. Naruto smiles as he releases Lex from the hug. I'm doing good, Lex, and sorry about it being so long since my last visit. I have been getting some stuff ready for a big event coming up. Suddenly Lex realizes something. Naruto, are you here to see Grandpa? She asks, thinking must be the reason he is here. Yeah, he called me few days ago. I don't know why, Naruto said. Just then, Naruto notices a group of the Ingen board of directors walk down the staircase, causing him to scowl as they walk past. Follow them down as Peter Ludlow along with his assistant, Heather Ivy. Peter and Naruto glare at each other as Peter walk past. See you later, Naruto said before he went up the stairs. Meanwhile, you were right and I was wrong. There, did you ever expect to hear me say such a thing? Hammond asked from his bed he was laying, to the man Naruto saw before, Dr. Ian Malcolm. Then he say, thank God for Site B. Site B, Ian asked. Isla Nublar was just a showroom for tourists. Site B was the factory floor. Isla Sorna, 0 miles from Nublar. We bred the animals there. Nurtured them for a few months and then moved them into the park. Hammond said. Really? I did not know that. Ian said. After the accident in the park, Hurricane Clarissa wiped out our factory on Site B. Call it an act of God. We had to evacuate. The animals were released to mature on their own. Life will find a way, as you once so eloquently put it. By now, we have a complete ecological system on the island with dozens of species living in social groups without fences, boundaries or constraining technology. And for 4 years, I've tried to keep it safe from human interference. Hammond said. Ian could not believe what he just heard. Right. Hopefully, you've kept the island quarantined and contained. But I'm in shock. I mean, that they're still alive. You bred them lysine deficient. Shouldn't they have kicked after 7 days without supplemental enzymes? Hammond nodded with a smile, but by God, they're flourishing. That's one of 1,000 questions I want the team to answer. Team, Ian asked, not liking where this was going. Hammond nodded again as he slowly got out of the bed while explaining, I've organized an expedition to go in and document them. To make the most spectacular living fossil record the world has ever seen. Go in and document. You mean with people? Ian asked as he and John head to Hammond's desk. Yes, the animals won't know they're there. Very low impact, strictly observation and documentation. Hammond then show the computer to Ian. The computer shows island with points of each dinosaurs, our satellite infrared. DS show the animals are fiercely territorial. The carnivores are isolated in the interior of the island, so the team can stay on the outer rim. Hammond then see Ian's face, don't worry. I'm not making the same mistakes again. No, you're making all new ones. Ian said before rubbing his forehead, John. So, there's another island with dinosaurs, no fences this time, and you want to send people in, very few people, on the ground, right? Who are the lunatics you're trying to con into this? It was hard to convince them of what would see a part of one, and in the end had touse my checkbook. Joe, HN said before he pick up one of the files and hand it to Ian, but there's Nick Van Owen, a video documentarian. Hand another file to Dr. Malcolm, Eddie Carr, who's a field equipment expert. John hold the third file. We have our paleontologist, John handed the fourth file to Ian, and I was hoping that perhaps you might be the fourth. John had Ian the last fifth file, has for the fifth member. A knock on the door cut Hammond off before open, showing Naruto. Oh, sorry, I'll come back later, Naruto said as he about to leave. Nonsense. Come on in. I was just about to tell Dr. Ian Malcolm about you being a guide when you reach the island, Hammond said with a smile. What island? Naruto asked. The dinosaurs on Site B are somehow still alive. I set up a team to document them. And you're part of that team as their guide, Hammond said. Ian looked at Naruto before he turned to Hammond. John, are you sure about this? I mean, he is just a kid. Hey, I'm 22 years old, Naruto said. Hammo. ND chuckles. Trust me Ian, there is no one more suited and capable of guiding your team than Naruto, he says with a smile. Naruto here was the lead dinosaur handler before the incident at Jurassic Park. And your team's safety will be guaranteed thanks to him being with you, he says, causing Ian to raise an eyebrow. Forgive me to ask this, but what's the rush? Naruto asked. Well, we've been on the verge of Chapter 11 since that accident in the park. There are those in the company who wanted to exploit Site B in order to bail us out, Hammond said. That's explained, Naruto muttered. Explained what? Ian asked. A month ago, I saw that jerk, Peter Ludlow, ordering the builders while building something. I had a feeling that building has something to do at Site B, Naruto said. They've been planning it for years. But I've stopped them until now, Hammond said. What do you mean, until now? Naruto asked. Hammond just sighs. There was an incident a few weeks ago where a British family on vacation stumbled across Isla Sorna and their little girl has come across with a predator. Hammond then notices Ian's shock and aware face. She's fine, but one of the yacht crew has become a meal. Anyway, the board took this as an opportunity to strip me of my place as CEO and have basically made me a figurehead for the company. Well, too bad, Ian mocked, before being elbowed by Naruto. Hammond sighs, knowing that what he is about to tell Naruto will upset him greatly. They have taken custody of the islands away from me and I fear they are going to send people to either exterminate or capture the dinosaurs on the islands. Public opinion is the one thing I can use to preserve it, but to rally that support I need a complete photo record of those animals alive in their natural habitat. Well, you can count on us, Grandpa Hammond, Naruto said, saluting. No, he can't, 'cause we're not going. Of course, we're not going to that island. And I'm going to contact the other 3 members of the team and stop them from going. Who's the paleontologist, by the way? Ian said. Naruto was about to beat Ian up when Hammond said, she came to me, I want you to know. She, Naruto asked. Who did? Ian asked. Leave it to you, Ian. To have associations, even liaisons with the best people in so many fields. Hammond said. Not Sarah. Ian said in hope it's not his girlfriend Hammond was talking about. Who's Sarah? Naruto asked. Paleontological behavior study is a new field, and Sarah Harding is on that frontier. Her theories on parenting and nurturing in carnivores have framed the debate, Hammond said. Suddenly, Ian looked over Hammond's desk. What are you doing? Naruto asked with narrow eyes. Hammond, where's your phone? Ian asked. Ian managed to find the phone, but before he could pick it up, Naruto appeared in front of him and stepped on the phone in hand. Ian and Naruto glare at each other when, it's too late, she's already there, Hammond said. Naruto and Ian turned to look at Hammond. Naruto, you and others are meeting her in 3 days, Hammond said. Naruto got off the desk and Ian sat on the desk in shock. She's on the island by herself? Naruto asked. Well, I didn't really send her. She's couldn't be restrained. She was already in San Diego, doing research at the animal park, Hammond said as he carried a glass of water as he head to Ian. It's only a few hours flight from there. She was adamant. Absolutely about. Here. You are, handing Ian a glass, about making the initial foray by herself. She thinks she's Dian Fossey. Observation without interference, she said. You know how it is. After Ian was injured in the park, she sought you out. Then she went all the way to a hospital in Costa Rica to ask someone she didn't know if the rumors were true. Okay, Grandpa Hammond. With Ian not joining the team, I'll take command of the Res Reach team and hold it. It's not a res reach expedition anymore. It's a rescue operation and it's leaving right now. Naruto, meet me at this address in 2 hours, Ian says before handing Naruto a slip of paper and walking out the door, closing it behind him. Naruto watches the door close and looks to Hammond before walking over and giving him a hug, which Hammond returns, despise about what happened before. It's good to see you again, Grandpa. Hammond, he says before releasing the hug. Naruto helps Hammond get back in bed before his eyes take on a serious look. Grandpa Hammond, the board won't like what you were doing and will likely try to either impede our cataloging or in the worst case scenario try and take the dinosaurs from the island to bring them to a park they are building in secret or be locked away somewhere, he says with a frown. I'm aware, which is where Operation E comes in, Hammond said, narrowing his eyes. Operation E? Naruto asked in confuse. When we first met, you said to get back to your world is through the summoning thing. Hammond said, yeah, I managed to finish it. Now I just need to find some animals. Naruto said. Hammond smiled. Naruto starting to get it now. Wait, are you saying? Hammond nodded. That's right. You will use whatever you need to use and newly create a very first Dino summoning scroll to transport Isla Sorna to your universe. Naruto smiled about it, but then he went sad. It will only work for Isla Sorna since I wasn't able to link it to Isla Nubar. It's not your fault, Naruto, you are still able to save Isla Sorna and all of the dinosaurs that inhabit it, Hammond said, trying to cheer Naruto up. Besides, Isla Nubar will be fine, remember the security that is guarding it. Naruto nods his head and smiles slightly, remembering the special security system that he set up around the island when he brought Tank, Terra, Matilda and Sabine over their foe. A quick checkup a year before the incident. You're right, it should be safe for at least 15 to 20 years, which will give the dinosaurs more than enough time to breed and increase their populations enough so that they can defend themselves. Quote, Naruto reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small box and hands it to Hammond. This is some extra insurance for after I activate Operation E, if there is a time that you need my help. Open the box and follow the instructions inside. Hammond nodded before takes the box and puts it in a safe place before turning back to Naruto. Thank you, Naruto. Now you should probably get going. Hammond getting a nod from Naruto before giving the young man who had become like another grandson to him one final hug before he leaves. 6 hours later, Naruto was in the ship, looking at the island, he and the team coming close. If the dinosaurs are still alive, that might mean, Naruto said before he pull out his wallet and look at the picture. It's a picture of him and his dino kids. A while later, after parking the RV, Ian and the team are in the forest. They found Sarah's bag before seeing a herd of dinosaurs with back plates and 4 spikes on the tail. Dino data, Stegosaurus. Name meaning. Roofed lizard diet, herbivore. 30 feet long, 14 feet tall and weight 2 ton. The Stegosaurus is the most famous dinosaur from a group of dinosaurs known as Stegosauria. They were all herbivores and featured rows of unique bones that developed into plates and spines along their back and tail, along with 4 spikes on the tail. It can defend itself against the predators. End of data. This is magnificent, Eddie said. Yeah. Ooh, ah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming. Ian said. Nick moved to the log and got a good pictures till. Hey Nick. A woman's voice call out. Nick jumped and turned to see a red-haired woman named Sarah Harding, laughing. I guess you got the jump on us, didn't you, Sarah? Nick asked after calming down. Sarah nodded before seeing others, even Ian. Ian, I never thought Hammond could get you to come here. Sarah said before she turned to Eddie. Hi Eddie. Hi Sarah, Eddie said. Got a granola bar or something? I'm starving, Sarah said as she jumped off the log and joined the others before she see Naruto. You must be Naruto Uzumaki, our guide. That's right, Naruto said before he shake Sarah's hand. Ian head to Sarah, holding her pack up. Have you been attacked? No, that's my luck pack. That's how it always looks. Sarah said before turned to Naruto. Can you guide me to the Stegosaurus nest? I'll be right back, baby. I promise. With that, Naruto using his memory, led Sarah to the nest as Ian and others follow them. When Hammond called you, why didn't you say something to me? Ian asked. I knew you would have stopped me from coming. Sarah said. I would tide you to bed. Ian said. That how much you love your girlfriend? Naruto asked, joked. Shut up. Ian said in mad as Sarah and others laugh. Naruto. I know how they survived without lysine. Sarah said. He doesn't care. Ian said, but both Naruto and Sarah ignore him. Carry on. Naruto said. The herbivore species that thriving. Eat mostly agama beans, soy, anything lysine rich. And the carnivores eat the herbivores, so. Naruto cut her by place his hand over Sarah's mouth before point the group of Stegosaurus in what seems to be a nest. Sarah slowly removed Naruto's hand. Stay there. Be quiet. I'll be back. Sarah whispered before quietly run to the nest. Sarah. Wait. Naruto whispered. Not listening. Sarah slowly crawled over to the baby Stegosaurus. After taking few pictures, the adult Stegosaurus saw Sarah and went on defending the baby. Sarah. Ian said as he made his way, but Nick grabbed Ian as Naruto rushed over. Ian turned to Eddie. Shoot them. Eddie point his Lindstrad air rifle at the group. No. Don't shoot. Naruto call out. Suddenly, Naruto got himself between Sarah and the Stegosaurus. Calm down. Stegosaurus just glare at him and their target. Sarah. Slowly move with me. Naruto said. Sarah nodded. With that, Sarah and Naruto slowly moved to the other side of the nest away from the others. That was close one. Thanks. Sarah said. You're welcome. Naruto said. Both him and Sarah looked through the Stegosaurus nest, seeing the others. We need to go around. Naruto said. With that, Naruto pushed the brushes away, revealing a dinosaur body. It's all right, it's dead. Naruto said. Suddenly, rising behind the body, is a dark gray T-Rex with brown feathers. Dino data Uteranus. Name meaning. Feathered tyrant diet, carnivore. About 30 feet long and weight 1 to 2 tons. A shaggy, close cousin of Tyrannosaurus rex discovered in China as the biggest feathered dinosaur known. Uteranus used the feathers to keep warm. Dino data end. You got to be kidding me. Naruto said. When the Uteranus let out its roar, Sarah and Naruto run away before the feathered predator give chase. Naruto and Sarah run past the Stegosaurus while dodging the spiked tails. When one of the Stegosaurus saw Uteranus, it let out his alarm roar. The big male got between his family and the predator. His back plates change color from greenish-brown to deadly red as he swing his weapon tail. Feeling scared from the Stegosaurus display, the Uteranus retreat. It has still got its dinner anyway. That was too close, Sarah said. And done. How was that? Don't worry, there's more dinosaurs where those guys come from. Sarah was lucky this time. But how long could that luck last? Just wait and see. See you dino lovers really soon. Chapter 6. The Hunts begins. Naruto Uzumaki. The Sage of Dinosaurs Chapter 6. The Hunts begins. As the team head back to base, while Sarah and Ian arguing, Naruto has wonder about what happened at the Stegosaurus nest. That predator, the Uteranus, that wasn't part of the Jurassic Park list. How did fire base camp? Eddie's voice snapped Naruto out. Nick run to the fire with a big water jug and pour some to the fire. No, water makes the smoke billow. Use dirt, Sarah said as she kicked some dirt. Naruto and Ian stare at the fire as it was put out. It was man-made, but if they and the others away, who started the fire? They asked. A young girl exit the trailer. She's Kelly Malcolm, daughter of Ian Malcolm. I just want to make dinner. Want to be ready when you guys get back, Kelly said, cooking something on the fry pan. A few moments later, Ian tried to call with the satellite phone but got no signal and Naruto and the team are busy planning. Why won't this piece of junk work? Ian asked, banging the phone. You can't just bang it to work, Eddie said. Ian grabbed Kelly's hand and head to the team. Look, we're leaving this island while we still live. Grandpa Hammond needs us to document the dinosaurs. Naruto said. We won't do this suicide mission for that old fool. Ian said. Now he done it. Dr. Ian Malcolm has pushed Naruto's button. Naruto enraged, tackle Ian, bumping Kelly and others and they roll of the sylph and land hard on the big rock. Before Naruto and Ian battle, Sarah got between them. Look Ian, I'll be back in 5 or 6 days. Sarah said. No, you'll be back in 5 or see why are the rocks moving? Ian Sudden asked as he notices the rock-looking things are moving, heading to them. Ian, I don't think they're rocks, Sarah said. And she is right. The rocks have eyes and mouth full of sharp teeth and snarling at them. Suddenly, the rock they're standing is moving too, with its head rise from the water and stare at them. XXXXXXXXXXX, Dino Data XXXXXXXXXXX. Tylosaurus. Name meaning. Swollen reptile diet. Carnivore. Up to 15 meters long and weighs 7 tons. Tylosaurus was a type of mosasaur that lived in North America during the late Cretaceous. Along with sharks, predatory fish, and other mosasaur, it was the top predator in the Cretaceous oceans. It would prey on fish and other mosasaurs. XXXXXXXXXXXX, Dino Data End XXXXXXXXXXXX. The greenish-blue Tylosaurus that they stand on, in its language, started to chuckles. I got dibs on the big one. Suddenly, all the Tylosaurus are now jumping around, snapping their teething mouth. Naruto managed to grab Sarah, Kelly, Eddie and Nick with his charka chain and with his charka, start to walk on the cliff walk, pulling them out of the jumping mosasaurs. Tylosaurus 1. Where'd they go? Tylosaurus 2. I saw it first. Tylosaurus 3. Come here, you tasty hairless mammal. Tylosaurus 1. Ouch. That's my tail, fish brain. Naruto and the team watched them jumping around. Hey, a voice whispered. Everyone looked down and see Ian with his back against the wall. Throw me a rope, Ian whispered. Find your own team, Naruto whispered. Just then, the Tylosaurus saw their target as one of them call, there it is. Ian see the predators heading to him. Look, if you can guide me, Sarah and Kelly off the island safely, I'll help you with the document. Just as one of Tylosaurus about to have a bite, Naruto send his charka chain to Ian and pull him up. I don't think swimming back is a smart move, Naruto said. Kelly suddenly notices that the cliff is stretching. What the? Kelly whispered. Suddenly, they heard the helicopters coming, carrying vehicles. Ian waving his arms try to get the copters, attention while Eddie looks through the binoculars. What the? It said Ingen on the side of the copter. Eddie said. Peter, Naruto said with narrow eyes. A while later, the Ingen group rides through the field. In one of the vehicles, Peter is talking through his headphone. I want the base camp ready around in 30 minutes. That's half an hour. Understood. Over, Peter said. From the passenger seat, Roland glared at his manager. Cancel that order. What? Why? Peter asked. This is the game trail. Carnivores hunts on game trail. Do you want to set up base camp or buffet? Roland asked. Let's find a new spot, shall we? Over and out, Peter said to his headphone. Roland shake his head. Peter, if I run your little camping trip, there are 2 conditions. First, I'm in charge. If I'm not around, dieter is. You just pay us, tell we're doing well, and serve us scotch after a good day. Second, my fay, you can keep it. All I want for my services is the right to hunt a Tyrannosaurus Rex. A male, a buck only. How and why are my business. If you don't like those conditions, you're on your own. So go ahead, set up base camp here, in a swamper in the middle of T-Rex's nest. Of course, what you don't know is that I'm planning to have the T-Rex to attack and eat as much as it can. Roland thought. At the cliff near the field, Naruto and the team watches as the hunters are round up, capture and lock up those poor dinosaurs. Naruto narrow his eyes. Night time. Naruto and the team spying on the hunters as they set up a show camp. Now you see why Grandpa Hammond wants us there fast, Naruto asked in whisper. A while later, Naruto, Sarah and Nick sneak back. I'm the camp where the dinosaurs are in their cage. One by one, they freed the dinosaurs which have them rampaging the base camp. During that, Naruto heard a baby dinosaur cry. Sarah, wait by the nearby river. Nick, with me, Naruto said. They nodded. A few moments later, Naruto and Nick found a baby T-Rex tied to the ground with a broken leg. As Naruto calmed the baby down, Nick pulled the pegs. Naruto pick up the baby and with Nick, walk through water of river to meet up with Sarah. Sarah saw them. Guys, oh my god. Are you out of your mind? He's got a broken leg, Nick said as he opened the jeep door, allowing Naruto to slide through and keep hold of the baby. Ian's not going to like this. Sarah said. Well, he has to. I'm not leaving the poor baby to die. Naruto said. Meanwhile, die. Chair just hand a cut padlock to Roland as Peter joined them. What's going on? Peter asked. Isn't it obvious? We're not alone 09N this island. Roland said. Meanwhile, the jeep just arrived by trailer. And Sarah opened the door and Naruto slide out carefully. Sarah opened the door and moved Kelly away as Naruto and Nick carry the baby through. Sarah then moved the table to the end of the trailer and together, Sarah, Nick and Naruto lay the baby down. Then Nick used his belt as a muzzle. Knowing that the baby's cries and blood will bring more carnivores, Naruto turned to Mad Ian. Listen, take your dog. Chair to the hide where she'll be safe. Ian nodded before he grabbed his daughter and run out. A while later, what's going on? Eddie asked. You don't want to know. Just get us up, Ian said, with the hide starting to rise high till they high enough to not be spot. It's okay. We so high now. This is the safest place you can be. Like Sarah said, the plants make it so the animals won't know you're here. Ian said to his scared daughter. You just saying that. I remember the stories you told. Kelly said. No, this is nothing like that. We're in a completely different situation now. Plus, Naruto knows this island so we hopefully be fine. Ian said. R-O-O-O-O-O-A-A-A-A-R-R-R-R-R-R. Ian, Kelly and Eddie turned to the sound. It's too far away but Ian knows that roar anywhere. Ian turn off the lights. Is there a way to communicate with the trailer? Eddie hand him a line phone. Meanwhile, he's moving again. Nick said as he helped Sarah with the baby's leg while Naruto stroked the baby's head to calm him down. He's just scared, Naruto said. Naruto then heard the phone ringing. Naruto got up. Naruto, I need you to stay with the baby. Nick, I need you help right here. Sarah said. Meanwhile, no answer. What a surprise. How do I get down? Ian said. Tie this belt around you. Eddie said as he helped Ian put on the climbing belt. Squeeze this rope hard. The harder you squeeze, the slower you go. Got it, Ian said. Dad, stay here. Please stay here, Kelly said. Ian climb over the rail. Don't worry honey, the queen, goddess, my inspiration, I'll bridge right back. I give you a word. But you never keep your word. Kelly yelled. With that, keeping word, Ian slid down, a bit too fast and smashed through tree branches. Personally, I would have squeezed just a little harder. Eddie just said. Meanwhile, Sarah nearly finished wrapping the bandage. I need another adhesive, something pliable I can. Sarah notices that Nick is chewing a gum. She hold out her hand, spit. And Nick spit his saliva on Sarah's hand. Your gum. Sarah sighed as she wiped her living hand on Nick's shirt before grab the gum that Nick hand. Nato laugh at it, and it would seem that the baby found it funny too. Must have a funny fossil bone in him. Meanwhile, Eddie and Kelly saw trees moving. Someone or something is pushing past the trees, scaring the birds away. It went under the hide, heading straight to the trailer. And done. Hope you like it. What's heading to the trailer? Why there's extra dinosaurs. What's going on about the island? Will they get off the island alive? Wait and see. Till then, see you all soon. Chapter 7. Mama and Papa are very angry. Naruto Uzumaki, the Sage of Dinosaurs. Chapter 7. Mama and Papa are very angry and yet very happy. Naruto, Sarah and Nick are finished set the baby T-Rex's broken leg when Ian blast through the door with you know what I mean. For once in your life, will it kill you to pick it up? Ian then made his way to the baby. Now, help get this thing out of here. Suddenly, they heard something outside and then they saw one of their cars rolling past and over the cliff. Mummy is very angry, Ian said. They carefully look out the window to see when they heard a growl behind them. They turn and see a big angry dino's huge head. They heard a roar behind them and when they turn, they see another angry dinosaur. They is big as the trailer but their arms are tiny to support the balance of their big head. Their mouth are full of bone-crushing teeth. XXXXXXXXXXX Dino data XXXXXXXXXXX Tyrannosaurus rex. Name meaning. Tyrant lizard king diet. Carnivore. 12 to 13 meters long and weight 5 to 7 tons. Tyrannosaurus rex, also known as T-Rex, is the top predator of their time. The largest of all tyrannosaurs. They believe to go from hunting to scavenging and scavenging to hunting. They believe to be king of the dinosaurs. XXXXXXXXXXXXX, Dino data end, XXXXXXXXXXXX. The T-Rex pair only just looking at their baby. Everyone, calm down. They only want their son. I'll take the baby and give him back. They'll take him and be gone. Naruto said after he removed the muzzle belt and carefully lift him up and carry off. Are you nuts? They'll take the baby back and you'll be gone in one bite. Ian said. Naruto ignore him and open the door, walk out, then carefully set the baby who run to his parents. They check to see if their son is okay before the look at the human. I'm so sorry about the bad humans taking your baby. I'll make sure it won't happen Father. The T-Rex pair said, minded in surprise and shock. Naruto was surprised, but after a quick look at them, Terra, Matilda, Naruto said. The T-Rex pair nodded. They nuzzle their return father who hugged them before. Wait a minute. Naruto look at Terra. Terra is a male now. Naruto then remember Dr. Alan Grant told everyone. The frog DNA within each dinosaurs have changed some of them from female to male and start to breed. That's explain why they are baby dinosaurs around. And it would seems that Terra is one of the changing ones. Which means, oh man, I got to rename you. Let's see. I'll call you Terrence or Terry for short. Naruto said. Terra now called Terry nuzzle Naruto even more. Father, would you like to meet your grandson, Chomper? Matilda said, minded as she moved her son to her father. You my grandfather my parents told me about. Chomper asked, minded. Naruto nodded before the baby run to him and jump on him. Naruto. Naruto's team call out, and starting to lick and nuzzle him. After managed to get his grandson off, Naruto turned to his Dino kids. Any words about your sisters, or has any of them become male too? Naruto asked. They're still sisters. Sabine has become a leader of the pack. As for big sister Tank, we have lost touch a long time ago. Terry said, minded. Naruto smiled. His little girl has become a big leader. But then Naruto got worried about his first Dino child. I hope she's okay. Naruto thought. Naruto then turned to T-Rex pair and to make sure no one hears what Hammond told him, he used his mind to tell them, listen, I want you three to get back to the nest and tell everyone that Naruto Uzumaki is back and I have a plan to keep those bad humans away. Gather them to the nest, but don't tell Tank or Sabine. I'll tell them myself. Naruto minded. The T-Rex family nodded and went off. Inside the trailer, Ian, Sar, and Nick are just standing with their eyes wide open and their jaws on the ground. Just then, Ian managed to hear the phone rings. Ian answered, yes Eddie. There, going back to the jungle. Eddie said from the phone. I can see that. How's Kelly? Ian asked through the phone. She's fine. She's right here. Then Ian heard his princess's voice through the phone. Hello. Kelly, are you okay? Ian asked through the phone. Yeah, I'm good. Kelly said from the phone. Okay. Stay there. Don't move. I'll be right back up. Understand? Ian asked through the phone. Yeah, I understand. Kelly said Fr. Own the phone before Ian hang up as Naruto enter the trailer. I beg people to listen to me. I use plain, simple English. Ian said, shut up. So Naruto, what was that back there? Sarah asked. Well, those T-Rex pair are my kids. And the baby Rex is my grandson. Naruto said, which once again causes their jaws to hit the ground. Sarah is the first to recover. Wait, how are they your kids? Nick nodded. Naruto chuckles. Well, that's simple, I'm not from this world. Naruto said, getting WTF expressions from the three of them. 10 years ago I was working on something in my home world and it backfired. Which resulted in me getting flung into your world where I appeared right above Grandpa Hammond's visitor center on Isla Nubar and proceeded to crash through the roof. Naruto chuckles at their expressions. Grandpa Hammond found me and got me medical help, and after waking up I told him my story and he told me about his dreams, so I decided to help him while I searched for a way to return home. Naruto smiles remembering that day. After agreeing to help him, Grandpa Hammond gave me a tour which ended in the incubation room where I was the first person that Terra now renamed Terry and Matilda S. Ah, when they hatched and they imprinted on me, Naruto then smile. Naruto take a breath before continuing. I also discovered that I have a mental link that allows me to communicate with dinosaurs, and after revealing this to Grandpa Hammond, he made me the lead dinosaur handler, Naruto said, shocking them. Sarah looks at Naruto for a minute before she realizes something. Wait, you can communicate me entirely with all species of dinosaurs? Sarah asked, curious as to the extent of his abilities. Naruto nods his head. Yeah, I can communicate with all species of dinosaurs mentally. In addition, I can also communicate vocally, Naruto said, remembering how he started learning how to communicate with Sabine in Velociraptor language. Suddenly, the back trailer flip around till it's upside down. What now? Sarah asked. Ian and Naruto look out the window and see what made them widen their eyes in shock. A giant version of the lion of Jurassic, Allosaurus. Its brownish back with dark red stripes and small ridges and brown eyes. XXXXXXXXXXX, Dino data XXXXXXXXXXX. Saurophaganax. Name meaning. Lizard-eating master diet, carnivore. 13 to 14 meters long and weighed approximately 3 tons. At around 13 meters long, Saurophaganax was exceptionally large for a Jurassic theropod, and could have rivaled both Tyrannosaurus and Giganotosaurus of the Cretaceous for size. This large size would have C. N. Saurophaganax living as the dominant predator of late Jurassic North America, but the price of being such a large creature means that they would not have been as numerous as smaller predatory dinosaurs. XXXXXXXXXXXX, Dino data end XXXXXXXXXXX. A Saurophaganax. That wasn't in the Jurassic Park list. Naruto said. What is it doing? Sarah asked. My big guess that it smelled the baby T-Rex's blood and it looks for him. Naruto said. Bad news, it's unknown pushing us over the cliff. Ian said. Seeing that they won't have time to get out, everyone, hang on to something. Nick said. Everyone, man. Age to grab old as the back trailer push over and now hanging around. Suddenly, Sarah lost her grip and fall hard to the window glass, creating a few cracks. Sarah, Nick and Naruto said. Ian climbed carefully down to his girlfriend, Sarah. Quote. Meanwhile, seeing that there's no injured baby, Saurophaganax went off. Meanwhile, Sarah looked down, feeling scared. She slowly rise up, only to create more cracks by her weight. Dawn, move. Nick called out. Stay still, Sarah. Naruto said. I'm coming down for you. Ian said. But poor Sarah is too scared to listen as she very slowly crawled to the end, making more cracks. Naruto then notices the satellite phone hanging on the lamp is slowly slide off. Nick, the satellite phone. Get it. Nick tried to reach the phone as Ian near Sarah, reaching his hand over to her. Give me your hand, honey. Nick nearly had the phone, but it slide off, heads up. The phone smashed the glass, breaking them. Sarah began to fall, but a chakra chain got Sarah. Ian and Nick turned to see Naruto standing on the side. Ninja trick, Naruto said. Ian and Nick, who join Ian, pull Sarah to safety. After that, Sarah hugged her boyfriend tightly. Just then, they heard a beeping from the car. Outside the trailer, a car arrived. Eddie climb out. Ian, Sarah, Nick, Eddie called. Meanwhile, Terry and Matilda, after making sure Chomper is safe, made their way through the forest. Naruto. A voice called somewhere. Terry and Matilda stop and turn to where the trailer is. Meanwhile, Eddie run to the cliff, seeing the hanging part of the trailer. Nick. We're in there, Nick said from the trailer. Wait, hold on, I'm coming, Eddie said as he run to the front trailer and got to the door. But the door is stuck. Eddie went in front, grab a big stone and throw it to the windscreen and smash it. Now Eddie can climb through the front window. I'm coming. What did this? Eddie asked. Kelly. What did you do with Kelly? Ian asked in worry. She's okay. She's in the hide. Who's hurt? What do you need? Eddie asked. We need rope. Naruto said. Rope. Anything else? Eddie asked. Yeah, 3 cheeseburgers with everything. Ian said, joked. No onions on mine. Nick added. And an apple turnover. Sarah added as well. And a great big bowl of ramen. Do I need to say who? Eddie get the message and went out to his car and dig through till he find a long rope. He tie it to a tree stump. He then went to the trailer, climb through, crawl through and then throw a rope to others. Did you tie this to anything? Ian asked. Suddenly, the trailer is moving. We're sliding down, Naruto said. Eddie went out to see the car tires sliding through wet mud. But then, Eddie notices the cliff is stretching, pushing the trailer and causing it to slide to the cliff. Eddie can't worry about it now. He run to the car and pull car winch rope. Meanwhile, Sarah, Ian, Nick and Naruto, while using his chakra to the metal, began to climb the rope. Meanwhile, Eddie, after a long pull, starting to head for the sliding trailer, hook the winch rope to it and the car stops the trailer. As Eddie resting, he saw the car starting to slide as well. The stretching cliff is pushing the trailer hard, making the trailer and car to move. Eddie run to the car, got in and start the car. He reversed the car to pull the trailer back. It's slow but it's starting to work. Meanwhile, Terry and Matilda runs through the forest. Hold on, father, they both said. Meanwhile, increase your rate of climb, Ian said. Suddenly, Sarah lost her grip and slipped down, having to bump Ian, then Nick and then now hanging around. Meanwhile, Eddie had the car pull hard when he heard a booming sound coming to him. Sorofaganax is back after hearing strange sound. It can smell food inside a strange thing. It grab the roof lights and rip it off. It then pull the door off. While Eddie keep his foot on the pedal, he try to get his rifle but it stuck. Sorofanax rip the final defend and can see its meal. However, before it could have a taste, it sensed something coming to it. Smashing through the trees, are Terry and Matilda. They roar at Sorofanax and it roar back. Eddie, as he try to get his rifle free, has no idea what's going on. Terry charge and grab Sorofanax's neck. After a few struggle, Sorofanax got free and headbutt Terry. Matilda charge in, grab Sorofanax by its tail and swing it around till she let go, sending it to the trees. Sorofanax got up and stare at female T-Rex but Terry after recover, grab its neck again. As Sorofanax tries to shake free, Matilda headbutt it. Knowing that it no match against two Tyrannosaurs, Sorofanax turned to retreat, but it ram its tail on the nearly tipped trailer, tug the car hard causing Eddie to fall out and the car slide off. The T-Rex went after Sorofanax. Naruto, Ian, Sarah and Nick watch as the trailer fall over them. The trailer land hard on the rocks, followed by the car, both go kaboom and few bits fly round. Eddie looked down. Everyone, okay? Yeah, we're fine. Let's go, Naruto said as Sarah began to climb. When Sarah reached the top, she find Eddie and Roland offer their hand to pull her and others up. After the T-Rex chased Sorofanax, the Ingan hunters arrive with Kelly with them. The latter of the running to Ian and hugging him. Few moments later, our communication equipment's been destroyed. Roland said, everyone are back at Hunter's ruined campsite. And if your radio and satellite phone were in those trailers, Nick cut in, they were. Then we're stuck here, and stuck together, thanks to you people. Roland said, pointing at Naruto's team. We came to watch, you came to strip mine the place. Nick said, I agree, you think you can just take what you want. You have no rights, Naruto said, feeling really mad about those hunters. -2, lock up the dinosaurs. An extinct animal brought back to life has no rights. It exists because we made it. We parented it. We own it, Peter said. Wrong, spoil baby brat. Dr. Henry Wu created it. Me and my old team raised it. Grandpa Hammond own it. You just steal anything to make money, Naruto said. But Hammond lost his right for the dinosaurs. He's an useless old man, Peter said. Suddenly, Naruto punched Peter to the ground and about to attack him of Nick, Ian, Roland, Ajay and few hunters pull him back. Then Roland notices Nick. I know you. You're that Earth First bastard. What's that? Naruto asked, trying to calm down. Professional saboteurs, Roland said. Environmentalists, Nick yelled. Knock it off. Listen, if that Orphanax tracked the blood to our trailer, there could be more meat eaters coming. Sarah said. She's right. Naruto then turned to the map holder and took the map. Give me that. After looking through the map, we need to head to the lab. Wait a minute, why are we heading to the lab? Ian asked. Because the Sorofanax, Uranus and Tylosaurus except one on Isla Nublar, were not part of the Jurassic Park list. Someone has created them and more behind Hammond's back. I want to know who and why. Naruto said. With that, Naruto heads off. Slowly, everyone starting to follow Naruto. A day later, they arrive at the lab and enter in. A few minutes later, they arrive at an egg room full of broken egg shells. As they spilled up to siege the room, Naruto joined Roland and Ajay. So, what are you two doing here? Not like I didn't miss you. Naruto whispered. Hammond sent us a spy. Ajay whispered. And how can you convince Peter to hire you? Naruto asked. I told him I want to catch the greatest predator that ever lived. Roland whispered. I guess you meant Terry. Naruto whispered. Roland and Ajay look at Naruto in confuse. He's used to be Terra before he become a male. Naruto whispered. Oh. Roland and Ajay whispered. Suddenly, guys, come have a look at this. Nick said. Soon everyone got their room to see Nick holding a black laptop which clover with few dry blood. That's Dr. Richback's laptop, Naruto said as he take the laptop. I had a feeling he might have something to do with extra dinosaurs. After checking the laptop, no good. The power is dead, Naruto said. No problem, Eddie said when he took the laptop. Give me a moment. While Eddie set the work on the laptop, Kelly is in deep thought. Dad, Naruto. What is it, Miss Kelly? Naruto asked. Well, I'm not sure if you believe me, but I think there's something wrong about this island. Kelly said. What do you mean? Ian asked. As the hunters arrive, I noticed the cliff is stretching. It's like the island is getting bigger or something. Kelly said as Nick grabbed the hunter's laptop and did some tapping. Look, you little brat. We have no time for. Nick cut Heather out. It's not a joke. Come look at this. Nearly everyone got there to look at the screen. It's show a map and the island they on. It is getting bigger. The island is getting bigger than Australia. It's now about 8 miles from Isla Nublar. Naruto said. That's odd. Islands never grow that fast. Sarah said. We need to find out how and find a way to stop it. If the island keeps growing, it can reach the mainland, meaning, Naruto started. Meaning, no one will be safe. Roland finished. Done, Eddie said, holding out the laptop. Good work, Eddie, Naruto said, took the laptop and switched it on and did some tapping. Laptop screen. A black-hair man, wearing long white lab coat and black pants, stand besides the tube full of eggs. Hammond was a fool, picking only few dinosaurs when they are more. So, to prove to Hammond, Dr. Richback, took extra DNA and created more and more dinosaurs along with their cousins. Few moments later, as I continue to create more, I realize that this island is not big enough. Dr. Richback said, real world, and he's going to tell us how he managed to expand the island in about, now. Naruto said, laptop screen, but I can make the island bigger with this baby. Dr. Richback said, patting on his giant downward laser gun, the beam hit the core of the island, making it grow and grow till it's big enough. Nearly 6 years later, Dr. Richback was running. There was a terrible hurricane and everyone left. I stay to carry on my work, but the creatures are out of control. Wait, what are you doing? I created you all. No, no. NNNOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO enough. We need to find that machine and stop it. Naruto said. And where would you think it's in? Ian asked. Naruto looked carefully at the background behind running Dr. Richback. I know where he might be hiding it. Naruto then took out the map and looked at it. There's an old control building with the radio that after we deal Dr. Richback's big toy, we can send a message. For a pickup because that's the only place that will have a radio to do so. How far is it? Nick asked. About few days from here. Naruto said. But that's not the problem. Peter butted in. Then what is the problem? Roland asked. Velociraptors. Peter said as he had a good drink before continue. Their nesting site are in the island's interior, which is why we were keeping to the outer rim. Wait, what's a veloc? Robert Burke. The Ingen's paleontologist, cut-off dieter Stark, second in command of InGen hunters, Velociraptor. Carnivore. Pack hunter. About half of man size, long snout, binocular vision, strong forearms. Killing claws on both feet. I think we should go now. Naruto said. We could head back down to Lagoon. Ian said. And sit out in the open, near a heavily used water source, Roland started. Full with Tylosaurus and maybe different marine reptiles nearby. Naruto added. Hope that your captain comes back. Roland finished. He won't. He knows better. Nick said. Then we'll do as Naruto said, for he might know the island better than we do. We head for the village, find shelter, find that machine and destroy it, and then we call for help. Rex managed to scare away that Sorfanax. Lucky for this man, Roland said, patting Eddie on his back, but with him and his mate gone back to the nest, some predators will show up. Lucky, you not mean to tell us that those T-Rex pair actually saved Eddie's life against Sorfanax? Ian said, not believing what he heard. Whether they realize or not, their job is done. My point is predators do not enter each other's territory unless they're desperately hungry. Roland said as he lead on, and predators don't hunt when they're not hungry. No, only Hunmans do. Nick said, you're breaking our hearts. All right team, saddle up. Let's get this movable feast underway. Roland ordered. Meanwhile, back at the Ingan hunters' camp, seagulls peck through the bags, box and so. When suddenly, they fly off in fear. A pack of carnivores arrive. Their orangish red and black stripes, dark red eyes, small ridges and green eyes. They have small back, powerful arms with 3 claws, powerful head and S-shaped neck. XXXXXXXXXXX, Dino data XXXXXXXXXXX. Allosaurus. Name meaning. Different lizard diet. Carnivore. 8.5 meters to 12 meters long and weight 2.3 tons to 4.5 tons. Along with Tyrannosaurus, Allosaurus is proba. Bly the most often represented large theropod dinosaur in popular culture. This is because it was one of the earliest discovered large predators and is known from more remains than any other large predatory dinosaur. One myth about Allosaurus that does need to be dispelled is that it was the ancestor of Tyrannosaurus. Although both share a similar morphology and Allosaurus is much older, the Tyran. No saurids are thought to have evolved from the Coelurosaurid group independent of Allosaurus. This means that as the tyrannosaurids evolved, they replaced dinosaurs like Allosaurus as the dominant theropods of North America. XXXXXXXXXXXX, Dino data end, XXXXXXXXXXX. The Allosaurus pack pick up the scent of easy meals. And now, they are following the scent and tracks to their dinner. And done. Now we know why they're extra dinosaurs and why the island is getting bigger. Can Naruto and the team find that machine that makes the island expand and stop it? The better question is, will they get off the island alive? Evil laughing. We'll just have to wait and see. Till then, see you Dino ninja lovers very soon. Chapter 8. Lost Near the Sea. Naruto Uzumaki. The Sage of Dinosaurs Chapter 8. Lost Near the Sea. With Naruto leads, his team and hunters walk through the fields and forests for days. Take a break. 5 minutes, Roland said. Soon everyone took their rest somewhere. A few minutes later, Dieter got up and wandered off. Heather suddenly grabbed Kelly by her hair and pulled her away. Ow, where are we going? Kelly asked in pain. We're going to get some food and you're small enough to climb trees. Ian run after a witch and his daughter. Now wait a minute. Heather turned around and aimed her handgun right between Ian's eyes. I don't think this brat wants to lose her father so soon in this island, do you? As much as he doesn't want to, Ian back off. Naruto got up to them. Not a good idea. No one should wander off in the jungle. Naruto said. Enough, Heather said as she pulled poor Kelly away towards the forest. When we got back with lots of food, you'll thank me. Note, we know what happened to Dieter, so we'll skip him and go straight to Heather. After a long walk, Heather with Ellie managed to find a tree full of apples. There we go. Now brat, you will climb this tree and pick all those apples. Heather said as she pushed Kelly toward. With that, Kelly starts climbing the tree. Heather watch her as she move. But because that witch isn't looking where she was going, Heather trip and fall off the cliff. Lucky, she managed to grab the cliff wall edge just near the sea, and climb on. Unlucky, the top cliff is too high to climb back up. Kelly seeing the opportunity, climbed back down and made a run for it. Meanwhile, Heather starts side walking carefully, Try not to fall, I bet that girl has left me. When I find her, I'll feed her to those raptors. Unknown to her, something in the ocean is following her. Meanwhile, Roland tapping his foot, they should be back by now. Dieter is missing as well. Ajay said. Naruto knows they can't wait any longer. Roland, take couple of men and look for Dieter. You as well, Ajay, and find Kelly and that witch. If they're alive, you guys will find them. The rest of us will move on. About 20 minutes, we'll reach the ridge. We'll wait for you guys there. Ajay head towards Ian. Don't worry, Dr. Malcolm. I'll find her. Before he went off with couple of hunters. Meanwhile, Heather is still side walking before she heard something behind her. Heather turn and see something in the water, heading straight for her. Stupid fish, Heather muttered before she grabbed small rock and throw behind to scare the fish away. But if she would just pay more attention, she would have notices that the shadow didn't split or scare away and keep on heading towards her. Heather managed to reach a cave. As she sat down to rest, something behind her rise from the ocean. Heather felt a drop on her head. She looked up and see a small head and an extremely long neck of the Elasmosaurus. DD1. Heather scream and crawling towards the cave. Elasmosaurus stick its head through the cave. The sound of Heather screaming was heard from the cave before the sound of muffling took place. Then an muffling human-shaped bulge traveling through Elasmosaurus' neck. Meanwhile, Kelly walked through the forest till she arrived near river, water. As she took in hands full of water, Kelly failed to hear a booming sound coming behind her. Kelly felt something breathing behind her. She slowly turned around and meet a crocodile-like head dinosaur with large hook-shaped claw on each hand, Baryonyx. DD2. Kelly scream and run just as Baryonyx tried to munch her, but hit the mud instead. Baryonyx spit the mud out of its mouth before with a big roar, went after its prey. Meanwhile, Ajay and two hunters wander through the forest. Then they saw Kelly run towards them. There you are, miss, Kelly just run past them, talk later. Run now, what's matter with that girl? Hunter 1 asked as he and other two turn and see Baryonyx coming. Ajay and hunters scream like a girl and run for their life. Then one of the hunters trip and fall to the ground. Before he could get up or move, Baryonyx stomp its foot on him without seeing him as it carry on chasing. Ouch! Kelly and hunters starts climbing the tree. Baryonyx hop to grab one of its prey but miss and grab the tree top instead. With its weight, Baryonyx begin pull the tree down. It glare at its dinner when it lost its grip on the tree, swing Kelly and hunters away. The hunter land on the rock, believed to be dead by now. Ouch again. Ajay land on two long sticks before Kelly land on his back. They turn to see charging Baryonyx. Ajay starting to use the sticks as stilts as he runs with Kelly on his back. Baryonyx manages to get close and bite Ajay on the rear. Yeouch. Ajay speeding up. Where are we going? Kelly asked. Don't really know, but we'll take the shortcut. Ajay said as he turned left. A few minutes later, Ajay run past the cliff. This is the shortest shortcut than I thought. Ajay just said before he and Kelly fall just as the Baryonyx about to bite. Lucky, they only fall. For few minutes when Ajay and Kelly land softy with their rear in the hole. Well, that wasn't so bad. Ajay said before he notices the rusty sign, geyser pit. Ajay and Kelly turn towards each off. As they heard rumbling under their body, oh no. Then suddenly, the water shoots them into the air. Meanwhile, Naruto continued to lead the group when from the sky, something land hard on Ian, Sarah and couple of hunters. And it's Ajay and Kelly. Nice catch, Nick joked. As everyone pay attention to the fallen group, Naruto has a perfect opportunity. So, he made a hand signs and whispered, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Then 4 clones appear. Naruto hand his clones a paper with seal mark each, you know what to do. The clones nodded as they went off without the group seeing them. Alright, guys, let's get moving, Naruto said, and with that, the group moves on as Kelly stay very close to her father. XXXXXXXXXXX, Dino Data XXXXXXXXXXX. 1. Elasmosaurus. Name meaning. Thin-plated lizard diet, carnivore. 14 meters 46 feet long and weight 2.2 tons. Elasmosaurus was a plesiosaur, a type of marine reptile. It was not a dinosaur, though it coexisted with many dinosaurs. It did breathe air. Their CKS were so long they wouldn't have been able to lift more than its head above the water. 2. Baryonyx. Name meaning. Heavy claw diet, carnivore. 9.5 meters 32 feet long and weight 1.5-2 tons. Baryonyx had Uge 1 foot 30.5 centimeters long claws on its hands, hence its name. It had long, narrow, crocodile-like jaws with 96 small, serrated teeth. This is 1.5 times the number of teeth that most other theropods had. It had a small crest on its snout. Baryonyx had a long, straight neck unlike other theropods, who had S-shaped necks and a long tail. Its low-slung body was supported by 2 large rear legs and 2 slightly smaller arms. The end. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.